what we need to do, what we not need to do, what we do not need to do, man. The number one thing that you have to understand is you should not be putting your energy, you should not be caring for people, taking care of people who don't have the will or the way or the want or the need or the drive or the motivation or the discipline to care for themselves. These people, a lot of times, they don't know themselves. They don't understand how special and beautiful they are. They don't understand what actually goes on in their mind, body, and soul, where they come from, the royalty that they come from. Because if they did, they would not have these problems. Yes, they might be depressed. Yes, they might have some kind of mental or emotional or spiritual health issue, but at the same time, that is not your fault. Okay? The thing about it is, I was taught these two things. The first thing I was taught, man, is the most dangerous person in the room is a coward, because a coward has no limits to what they'll do to get out of a situation. And the second thing is, don't care about somebody who cares for themselves, because if they don't care about themselves, there's no limit to what they'll do to you. They don't care. If they don't care about destroying their own lives, why would they care about destroying your life? You cannot change grown people, bro. You cannot change what goes on in somebody's mind and how they view the world. You can alter their immediate behaviors. You can give them direction. You can feed them all the negative energy and give them all the programming you want to seemingly change their behavior. But as soon as you walk away and as soon as they lose this, as soon as they lose that, they're going to revert to that same behavior. They're going to keep doing what they were doing before you met them. You don't deserve to be putting your energy into somebody who is simply not willing to grow, somebody who's simply not willing to take themselves out of specific circumstances. You have to understand that judging somebody off of self care is totally appropriate. I'm gonna give you two different types of people. You can have somebody who's a millionaire, bro. Somebody who built a small empire for themselves, a small amount of money. That doesn't mean they care about themselves more than you care about yourself just because you're not a millionaire. You could have a homeless person that cares about themselves more than a millionaire cares about themselves. All these celebrities and all these millionaires and all these people out here who have an abundance of material things, but they still find a way and a reason to remove their souls from this body that they're blessed with. So you have to understand, you could have everything in the world and still have nothing if you don't have self-care. If you don't care, if you don't see the majesty and the beauty in your mind, bro, if people are not allowed to see that, and the most important person being that person, then ultimately that's going to lead to not only self-destruction but your destruction if you attach your energy to that person. And I can relate. I understand that depression is real, anxiety is real, especially in specific communities. Being in that age, looking at these people that I've been viewing as people that I could perceive as people who don't care about themselves, being 19, being in that stage, understanding that there was really nothing here for me, understanding that my purpose was something I was blind to. It really put me in a rut, man. It really put me in an emotional rut. But at the same time, I saw a lot of people repel. I saw that I repelled a lot of people. I saw that at some point I was gonna have to take responsibility for what I was not responsible for, which I made a video again about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago about but nobody should have that responsibility. Nobody should have the responsibility of replenishing the zombies. The energy you put into yourself is what is going to be returned to you. It's a very spiritual concept. Instead of programming the universe, programming what the universe has to offer inside of yourself. When we understand that it's much easier to motivate somebody with motivation, to push somebody who's already pushing themselves instead of having to start the car, put the oil on the top, like whatever. I don't know shit about cars, but you don't want to be. You don't want to be that disease, bro. What is that disease? You don't want to be the disease called enabling. You don't want to be that, bro, because that's ultimately gonna take that person and yourself to a destination called nowhere. Now there are a lot of people, there are a lot of people who fall into this category. You could say, bro, you put yourself in a position where people want to harm you. You put yourself in a position where you're ultimately harming yourself. You're putting yourself in a position where you're not giving anybody any other choice but to harm you. There's a lot of different categories of people that would that can easily align themselves with that definition. My mind is I'm going all kind of places with this. But at the same time, these people are lost. There's a lot of different stages. There's the beginning stage where there's limbo. There's the second stage where there's a real attunement with you knowing that there's no way for you to get past this without challenge, without more hurt, without more pain. And there's that last stage where it's just a loop. It's just a pain loop, and you truly are gone. And you're never going to come back without intense therapy, intense medication. I'm not just talking about from a medical standpoint either. I'm talking about a hug. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about really swimming in the ocean of knowledge. I'm talking about you actually understanding what is going on, what needs to be done. And it's even worse if you have access to these things, if you have the emotional support, if you have the knowledge, if you have access to the knowledge and you just don't do it. If that's what you want to do, you got to be by yourself. You have to be by yourself. And if you're in the situation where you know these people and you understand where they come from, even me, understanding in totality where these people are coming from, I understood what had to happen for me to escape that prison. I had to understand eventually that it was nobody's fault but mine. And the only way that I would not be a threat and a danger to society is to remove myself in totality. And there's nothing wrong with that because you know that you're toxic. You know that the only thing that you can really contribute is negativity. And nobody needs that. Nobody needs to have that one person. If I just really want to be depressed, if I really just want to, if I just feel like I want to do something that is just inconducive to my personal growth, I could just call you. Like, bro, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I'm not saying that you should just go ahead and just jump off the cliff. I will never tell anybody to do that. But you don't deserve it. You don't deserve peace nor war. You don't deserve happiness nor sadness until you actually decide what is going to come of this depression, what is going to come of this stagnation. It could become beautiful, it could become ashes worth celebrating. But if you keep living in this loop, if you keep putting yourself in a position where you're constantly saying, I could see why people don't want to be around me. I could see why everything always happens exactly the opposite of what needs to happen. It's never a secret. It's never an accident. It's always on purpose. It's always the story you tell yourself. It's always the words that you use. It's always your vocabulary. It's always all of these things. And I can totally relate. And sometimes I can relate right now. Not every day, but I could totally see. In retrospect, I understand. but I don't want to understand. I want to experience new. I want to be the full moon. I want to be that portal. I want to be that vortex. What's up, Rusty? I want to be that example of what not to do when you care about not caring. When you feed that beast, when you feed that evil wolf that lives inside all of us. It doesn't have to be like that. And you cannot expect people to walk in your muck. That's ridiculous. That's ill. Do you want to be like imagine that being your job. Imagine you being chastised for not wanting to be a spittoon for somebody with mouth cancer. Imagine that. And you know what's even more messed up about it? I understand it all too well. And to be honest, like I said, there's still I'm still experiencing the residual effects of years and years of putting my mind, my body, and my soul through so much negativity, through so much disgusting, through so many disgusting situations. And I don't think that I am wrong for what I'm doing right now. But at the same time, when you put yourself in that situation, bro, make sure you like this video. When you put yourself in that situation, people are not gonna remember the happy times. They're gonna remember the sadness. They're gonna remember how much emotional armor they had to develop just to have one conversation with you for 20 minutes. That's what they're gonna remember. They're gonna be happy that you got yourself out of it. They're gonna be happy that you didn't have to be institutionalized and they didn't allow you to bring them down too much, but they're gonna remember what you did. They're gonna remember that they wasted so much time on you, that they put too much love into you. They're gonna remember that they could have spent those hundreds of dollars doing what they wanted to do. They spent those hours doing what you wanted to do instead of what they wanted to. They're gonna remember. Now, hopefully, you're dealing with some forgiving people. But again, dealing with people who don't care about themselves is 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 dangerous. You're putting yourself in a position where you could wake up with everything that you love gone. And a lot of people, that's their goal because they're just too scared to remove themselves from earth and they want somebody else to do it. And that's why they do what they do. Because because taking your soul from your body yourself with your own two hands, it takes a lot of balls. It takes a lot of courage. A lot of people think that's the coward's way out. You have to be a really brave person to actually try to go through with it. I speak from experience, okay? And you don't want that type of energy around you. If anything, you should be looking for a story of redemption. You should be asking yourself, what can I do with this emotional support? How can I give back? How can I utilize all these people who I can consider those who have emotionally supported me, those who tried to feed me the knowledge, but I rejected it. And I chose the toxins, I chose the poison, and I fell in love with it because I knew that it's easier to get attention with negativity than positivity. It's easier for people to remember my name with negativity. It's not always about that. Some people don't understand that nobody owes you anything, bro. Nobody owes you anything. And when people want to leave, and when people get tired, and when people run out of patience, that's because of you. Because the law of reciprocity was not utilized it wasn't utilized correctly. Nobody wants to watch. Very few people want to sit around and watch you rot. Especially people who have something going for themselves. So for you to recruit this team of people to watch you rot and shame them for not wanting to, it's very selfish. I did the same thing. I did the same thing, and now I'm trying to take these energies and give it back in the most positive of ways. But don't care about people who don't care about themselves, because that energy, it runs deep, and it doesn't need to run deep inside you, because you don't there's not an ocean deep enough for you to get away from that. There's not. Trust me. That's not how this planet was that's not how this planet was energetically created. And that's the exact weapon that these people want you to use to destroy yourself. That's the best way to destroy somebody, is to get them to do it themselves. It takes a lot of knowledge and it takes a lot of wisdom. Thank you, bro. It takes a lot of understanding to do it. But think of it like this, bro. Think of this like as like a STD. Think of it like that. Misery misery loves company, but at the same time, it doesn't love. It's just like burning sage, bro. If somebody says they don't like when you burn sage, what kind of person do you think that person is? Somebody says they don't like hugging puppies. What kind of person you think that? So people who don't like to eat vegetables and drink water, just like the homie said, water is not nasty. Your soul is nasty. Who rebukes water? Who rebukes vegetables? Who rebukes smiles and hugs and affection? Somebody who needs to be on Lonely Island all by themselves. And sometimes that's what it takes. I'm not saying now, I'm going to say something that's going to be slightly offensive, but that's okay. If somebody has to be put in a position where they have to choose life or death, either you're going to be happy or you're going to, I'm going to just say, either you're going to be happy or you're going to fucking kill yourself or you're going to die. Sometimes people need to have to make that decision, and you don't need to watch them do it. It's okay. If it's your mom, if it's your dad, if it's your own child, don't let anybody kill you, bro. This is why you have all these beautiful neurogenetics. This is why the best way to defend yourself is in the front of you, because you're supposed to fucking move forward, not backwards. Okay? Everything, the most important things are in the front of you for a reason, because you're not supposed to move backwards. You can run forward faster than you can run backwards for a reason. It's a spiritual thing. It's an emotional thing for a reason. You make the food in the front of you. You put it in the front of you, and the shit comes out the back of you because it's supposed to be behind. If you can't keep up, I'm sorry. We all have to do it, bro. Sensei TV says, "Damn, bro, this hits home." Rusty Shackelford says, "I've been living with people that like to see me rot, aka enablers. I went to rehab and have been homeless multiple times and found out they're not even rare. Of course, then you can't have an addiction. Like most people can't have an addiction without somebody enabling them. If you don't have enablers, 9 times out of 10, you probably committed some kind of crime. But I had enablers. I did. Low key, I still do. But I'm also like, I don't know how old you are, bro. I'm sure you told me at some point. I had people who every time I would call them for $100 or 50, like, but at the same time though, I could say this. Look, I could say this. When I was going through what I was going through, I probably would have died, bro, because I was reckless. Number one, because I was reckless. And because I really didn't care about myself, bro. I really didn't care if I lived or died. I preferred one over the other. The only reason that I'm still alive, bro, is because, like it says in the Bible, I'm not a Christian at all. But like it says in the Bible, I had a mustard seed of faith, bro. I wanted to see. I thought, you know what? I don't want to. I really don't want to remove myself from Earth because there's a possibility that everything could be better one day. And I could hit the lottery tomorrow, even though I don't play the lottery. Something could happen tomorrow. Something could happen any day, any minute. I'm not about to remove myself. I want to see what this life is gonna look like. I want to see if I can actually accomplish something, because I know it's not gonna be the same for forever. Sensei TV says I overdosed and died yesterday. The paramedics brought me back with Narcan. I almost killed myself because I didn't care about myself enough and gave up low key. Low key gave up. That's really sad, bro. I didn't do the same thing. Um, but what saves me, that's really unfortunate. I'm glad you made it through that, bro. Cause you're really talented and you have a lot of potential. But what the reason I did it, I wasn't even sad. I was just numb. Oh, you didn't do it on purpose. Well, no, I did it on purpose. I I just I didn't really I wasn't in tune with what my purpose was. And it was a little bit of PTSD, um, loneliness, and I was not treating my body right, bro. I was putting all kind of stuff, mind altering substances, not weed, in my body. And I was not grounded. I was doing too much upper chakra work and I was not grounding myself. And I just I didn't want to be here. I didn't know what to do. Like I was just for real. Like when I think about it, yeah, it was just me not being on my purpose. But I was just bored, bro. I was bored. I was on probation. I was on felony probation. I was scared of going to prison. I lived somewhere where I didn't know anybody. Where I really wanted to hang out was like 30 minutes away. I didn't have a license. I didn't have a car. I didn't have my drank up and snorted up all my money. I didn't have a job. And I was living with my grandma. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't showering every day, brushing my teeth, nothing. I was already dead, bro. It was accidental. Yes, yes, I understand that now. Thank you for that. But at that point in my life, man, anybody and anything that I would have touched that would have attached themselves to me for long enough, they were gonna come with me, bro. And I had no problem with that at all. But what saved me, unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, was my mother. What happened was, I'm not gonna tell you that, I'm not gonna give you all the details, but I called my homegirl to say goodbye because it was like her birthday weekend. And I was in my room waiting for everything to go down. And I called my mom because I was like, I don't know why I did that. But I don't know what she said to me, but I felt so selfish and I just felt so disgusting. And I felt sad because I knew my mom would be sad. And I shed a tear and I was like, Mom, I'm trying to kill myself right now. And she was like, "What?" She didn't even like you. My mom's not always dramatic, but she could be pretty. She could be pretty dramatic. But she was like, "Okay, cool. Get out of that room, go outside, smoke a cigarette, and you need to go somewhere else." But coming from just going to that point, going like for real, being on the ledge, bro. I wasn't just metaphorically being on the ledge, understanding that just coming from that perspective, I understand how dangerous people can be when they don't care about themselves. I understand that there's people in Chicago and LA and New York and Florida and Miami and Georgia, people all over this country that's game banging, that's only game banging because they're too scared to put the gun in their mouth and pull the trigger. They do these things not because they want to represent or they have love for whatever nation or gang they claim to represent, because they're too scared to do it themselves, bro. That's why. That's why. And they put themselves in positions purposely because it takes a lot, it's easier to harm somebody else than to harm yourself. A lot of people do a lot of things recklessly, and that's not okay. A lot of people do things subconsciously. Some people smoke cigarettes because they know it's a slow death or drink or do whatever. And they know one day is gonna leave, it's gonna shave a couple more years off their lives, which is pretty selfish and it's pretty pussy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. As far as enablers, I mean, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. And I don't want this video to go in this direction. But what I am gonna say is it's your job for you to humble you. It's your job for you to challenge you. Like I said, I'm not a Christian. I believe in God and all of that. But you don't want the universe. You don't want nature. You don't want the laws of the universe. You don't want God to put you in a position. You don't want. You want to pick your challenges. Pick your own challenges. Because if you don't, then the universe is gonna have to do it for you. God is gonna have to do it for you. The law of the universe, the law of attract, whatever you believe in, nature, fate, destiny, is gonna choose these challenges for you, bro. It's gonna humble you. It's gonna give you the test that you need to have to get to that next stage in life. If you have enablers, you need to cut them off yourself. If you are gonna go to rehab and do all, you need to do that yourself because you don't want to have to hit rock bottom, bro. Because at rock bottom, it might be somewhere where you can't come back from. What saved me was going to jail, bro. So that sucks because it fucked me up a lot. And it really took a lot of years, lots like a decade from my life, bro. And now I can't even function. I can. I couldn't obviously function, but I can't function in the way that I need to be able to function at the age that I'm at. You don't want that. If I would have just had somebody, if I would have just asked the right questions and been around the right type of people, then I would have been in a better position. And I'm gonna make a video on this, what I'm about to say, a whole different video. It's gonna be my third installation. But you should be choosing your company based off of how much they care about themselves. You should not be, and I don't give a fuck. Look, I can say this shit, I can say what I'm about to say because I've been through it. You need to choose people and your company based off of how much they care about themselves, not just self care, not just making money, not just how much they want to improve, and but all of those things put together, bro. You whatever you think self care is, whatever you think, however you should judge these people, there has to definitely be self care, which is hygiene, educating themselves outside of educational institutions, how much money they want to make in like 5 years, their purpose, their grind, their work ethic, whatever you think should be in there, self improvement, self care, what they put in their bodies, their goals, things like that. Don't hang around motherfucking gangbangers. Don't hang around Don't hang around people who obviously don't. Look, don't hang around people that can easily be dead any day now because of things that they constantly do. And I know that we have two people, myself even, we have people watching this that can categorize them, can put themselves in that category. I stopped drinking like a month ago, but 30-year-old Aaron Moses would not be hanging around 21-year-old Aaron Moses, bro. A gangbanger, bro. Anything to do, whatever they did yesterday could put you in a position where you don't have a lot, where you're dead. Somebody who's constantly putting stuff in there about the thing about addiction is, bro, you don't have permission to be you. You gotta listen, you have to respect that addiction more than you respect yourself. Because that addiction, let's just pretend like it's a spirit, which it is. Let's pretend like addiction is a spirit. Let's pretend that you're actually not addicted to something. Let's pretend like there is a puppet master somewhere pushing buttons to turn this addiction on and turn it off and to make you have urges and to make you fiend and to make you whatever symptoms that you go through that lets you know that you need to do this thing, defeat this spirit. You don't have control over whether you live or die when you are addicted to something, whether it be sex, gambling, or some kind of physical substance. You don't have control over that. Whoever is pulling those strings and pressing those buttons, they have control over whether you live or die. And they just don't feel like seeing you die right now. They just want to watch you squirm. So you have to rebuke that spirit. You gotta get that spirit out of you, bro. And you should be hanging around people who care about themselves more than you, much more than you. And it's gonna be hard to relate to them. And they might not stick around for that long. But at least try to soak up some game. At least try to ask them, see where they think in their mind, what parts of their brain they use. Watch their routines. If you hang around with them long enough, if you have a handful of these people, it's gonna slip away. It's gonna slip away. It's either gonna be that or what you when you want to go to jail and you don't even know for real when you're coming home or not. And even if you do, you still don't want to be in jail. You can't just go outside. You can't just go to the refrigerator. But don't hang around people who don't care about themselves as much as you do. That's just weird. It doesn't feel good and it's awkward. You don't want to put on deodorant? Did you brush your teeth today? Did you drink water today? You can't really. How can you relate to somebody who doesn't care about themselves as much as you do? It's a weird dynamic, bro. Especially if it's on a level that's unhealthy. See, my girlfriend takes physically a much better care of herself than I do. But it's not like I'm sick. It's not like I'm mentally ill. It's not like I go days and weeks without taking showers like some of the people I was hanging around. It's not like I don't have a job. It's not like a lot of things. It's close enough where we could still associate and we could still do what we do. But I think that's the first step. And when people don't, that see, just now getting in tune with this. When people don't want to sit around and watch you die, just let them be. But at the same time, look, even though I'm not going through that same loop and I'm not going through those same struggles, people still see me as that person, bro, and they don't even want to give me a chance. They don't even want to have a 10-minute conversation with me because that's the last thing they remember. Me being a fucking bump. Me just not giving a shit about myself. Me going anywhere smelling like everything but good. People aren't gonna forget that. And some people know that they can't change because they're in such an amazing place in their life. They're not gonna change. So they just forget that everybody else can change. Or maybe they just don't give a fuck. Whether it be one or the other, it doesn't matter. But what you do have to remember is it's all about you, bro. When people tell you it's not, don't believe them. When people tell you that you have to, yeah, you have to consider other people, but consider, don't you don't have to invest. You don't have to put your money and your time and your energy and your soul into people. If you want to do that, go ahead and do that. But you don't have to give people anything. Not even, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to write scrolls of nothing, bro. It's supposed to be about you. When you help people, it's supposed to be about you. When you improve the world, it's all about you. Because people don't go to your funeral to remember what people did for you. That's not where they go. They go to your funeral because of what you did to people or for people. That's why they go. Facts. They're not gonna be, oh yeah, I loaned Tony $20 when we was in seventh grade. No, no, like, what? Who the fuck is this nigga? Here lies Tony, the nigga that borrowed $20 from everybody, and he said he was gonna have a bag of money at his funeral, and it was gonna be real pimpish, and it was gonna be tilapia and coleslaw. Like, nah, bro, that's not realistic. That's not how life works. Okay, people want to see you give, bro. And the only way for you to give is to have something for you to give. And the only way for you to have something for you to give is to take care of yourself. Is to take care of yourself. So goal number one, associate with people who care about themselves at least as much as you do or more. Goal number two, do what they do. Pick their brain. And there's gonna be people who make way more money than you, and you still care about yourself more than them. So it doesn't, the income doesn't really matter. If they have all the women in the world, that doesn't matter. I know people who have women that don't care about themselves. They could be dead right now from a suicide, and I wouldn't even know it. Right now. Everything that you think you want, somebody has, but they don't care about themselves as much as you do. Remember that. And you have to understand what is beautiful about you, what you have to offer to the world. It might be common, but nobody can do it exactly how you did it and how you can do it. Judge people off of self care. Judge yourself off of self. Go that extra mile, bro. Go that extra mile because if you're depressed or you have anxiety, self care is a beautiful way to start to heal those things and treat those things. Put a little bit of conditioner on your face. Spend a little bit more money. Eat a little bit more vegetables, a little bit less meat. Drink a little bit more water. Go to bed a little bit, 30 minutes earlier, bro. Self care is definitely can heal a lot of things, bro. A lot of things. Let me go through my part. Understand that you can't change anybody if you want to care for people who don't care, but you can't change anybody. They might they might alter their behavior while you know them, but if you leave them tomorrow, they're gonna go back and do exactly what they were doing before. Okay, and you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the person who has these people around them, and when they leave, you change everything about you and you revert and you go backwards. When people quit McDonald's, does McDonald's stop making double cheeseburgers because Terrence made double cheeseburgers the best? No, no. They get somebody else who can make double cheeseburgers. Now they might not be as fire as Terrence's double cheeseburgers. He put the little onions on there just right, just the right amount of ketchup, two pickles. Bro, McDonald's is still gonna make double cheeseburgers if you quit. So whatever behaviors that you adapt and adopt, keep it. All right. Nextly, man, you don't deserve to hang around people who don't care about themselves. Because if you love yourself and you know you're not gonna harm yourself, why align with people who are gonna do that? Why align with people who don't care about themselves? Because there's no way that they can care about you. I'm not talking about love, I'm talking about care. People can love you if they don't love themselves. I'm talking about care. In a lot of situations, self care is more important than self love. A lot more sometimes. Okay. Nextly, you have to understand, like I said, I already said this like 5 times. You should judge people off of how they care for themselves. Because ultimately that's what people do. They just don't do it consciously. What is that? Oh, some sticks I got in the cup. Awesome. When people walk up to you, so what do you do? What do I do for money? People are ultimately asking you, how much do you care about yourself? How much have you invested time, effort, and energy into being somebody that is valuable to society, that can contribute to society? That's what people are asking you when they ask you what you do for a living. Yes, they're asking you how much money you make and how important you are, but ultimately, a lot of that shit comes from you caring about yourself, you caring about your mind enough to feed it knowledge, monetizable knowledge, to for you to self-discipline and maintain that self-discipline, because you could be the most self-disciplined in the world person in the world today, but that will deteriorate if you don't maintain it. It's a muscle. Okay. Nextly, understand what self-care or lack of self-care looks like. Not not homelessness and not being somebody that is destitute and all fucked up. Because I know fucked up ass people that are in messed up positions and that don't have $2 by the grace of God, but they care about themselves more than millionaires. It's weird, but it's true. It's very true, my nigga. Okay, then lastly, oh, I didn't even say this, but people, I got so deep in the video, bro. People who don't care about themselves, bro, that's chaotic. Do you want to be around chaotic, unpredictable wild cards all the time? No, the fuck you don't. You don't. You know how I know that? Because I'm still low key sometimes, but my chaos doesn't come from a place of just not giving a fuck about what happens the next day. Because I definitely do. Yes, Rusty, I'll give you some recommendations for 3-6 Mafia. You already know. But people who don't care about themselves are unpredictable. And if you're a grown ass person, bro, you don't have time to be with people that are unpredictable. You need to be safe. You need to be able to predict. You need to be able to rely on this motherfucker. This motherfucker takes the same route, gets a cup of coffee, eats motherfucking peanut butter and jelly for lunch, even if it's something, you don't want to be around a chaotic, erratic, sporadic, spontaneous, wild card, the Tasmanian. You don't want to be around that, but that's a disease in itself. Okay. And lastly, bro, if you don't care, if you are in a depression, I'm not talking about chemical, and if you're depressed, if you have anxiety, you got to figure it out. You have to FIO. How do you figure it out, Aaron Moses? Emotional support, networking, bro. Now you don't have to vomit all over everybody and tell them all your problems and all. You don't have to do. You could sprinkle a little bit on there, right? A little bit. Emotional support, number one. Number two, knowledge. A lot of people are depressed because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do because they don't know. They don't have knowledge. They're ignorant. They're without knowledge. And if you're ignorant, you should be sad. But I would be sad too if I was fucking ignorant. If I didn't know, and I am. I am sad. Most of my depression comes from because I don't know shit. Because I am without knowledge, and that's okay. I know there's a lot to learn, and I love it. Okay, recommendations 3-6 Mafia. Ain't Your Friend, Mystic Styles, Smoked Out, Loped Out, Be a Witness, Sleep. I wish I had my other phone. Um, I Thought You Knew. Um, all right, wait, let me do this. That's all the mainstream shit, bro. Let me think. Who Got Them Nines? That's not even 3-6 Mafia. That's Juicy J and Project Pat. I mean the first three albums, bro. And then look for the mixtapes they made. Look for DJ Paul. The it'll be volumes, bro. Volumes. So volume one, volume two, volume three. Juicy J's, volume one, volume two, volume. They made. I didn't even know they made mixtapes back then like that. Especially in the South, I didn't know. But like some what's that one? In the Game, Money. What's not money? Money flow. Yeah, money flow. In the game, the summer. Um, what's that one song, bro? Um, Weak ass bitch. I like that song. I already said sleep. But I haven't listened to Three Six Mafia in a long time, bro. I don't think I listened to Three Six Mafia in like 8 months, which is odd, which is weird for me. So, Triple Six Mafia, Triple Six Clubhouse. Bro, goddamn, that really threw me off, bro. Um, I should make a playlist. Not a playlist. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make a video on it either. Shit. Where the Killers Hang. I like that song. Grab the gauge. Hell yeah, bro. Grab the gauge. I'm in a rage. Um, kick. What's kick? Something about kicking a dough. Something like that. I can't remember, bro. I don't know, bro. Type in triple six mafia. Don't type in 3 6 mafia. Type in triple six mafia. Triple six mafia. Smoked out, loked out. Mystic Styles. Who got them nines? Grab the gauge. Got you shaking. War with us. Where the killers hang. Killer Clan. Killer Clan. That's a Juicy J song. Um, yeah, the first my favorite album is yeah the second one. I think that's the one with the blue skulls on it. I don't remember, bro. I'm sleepy. Nope, no excuses. I just don't remember. I haven't listened to Three Six Mafia in a long time. But yeah, man. Hard out here for a pimp. That's actually my favorite song. Be a Witness. Listen to Be a Witness, even though that's not 3 6 Mafia, but they made the beat though. I'm pretty sure DJ Paul and Juicy J made that beat. Um, what's that motherfucking song? Riding in the Chevy. I like that song. Part one and part two. Um, but look for the mixtapes, bro. For sure, for sure. Look for the mixtapes. Look for the mixtapes. Suicide Boys been. You just found out Suicide Boys been copying them. How? How, bro? Oh, yeah. Listen to the Mystics. Listen to the Mystic Styles mixtape. I mean album. Listen to Smoked Out, Locked Out. The album. That was their first album. Listen to. I gave you everything, bro. And it's not like some of this shit's gonna. A lot of it's gonna be hard to find, but most of it is. You could just look up the albums. But I would tell you for sure. Look for the mixtapes. Juicy J Volume 9, DJ Paul Volume um under I think it's called Underground Volume 2 or 3. He just remastered it like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I bought that actually. I bought it. Mm, listen to you know what you really need to listen to, bro? Listen to the Mafia 6 cuz they did songs with Bone. Listen to the first Mafia 6. I think it's the album. Listen to that. That is the album. That is the album because I bought that too. And yeah, that's it. Good talk, guys. I'm probably again. I need to remake this video again, bro. I need to just go to sleep. I need to just go to sleep and just go ahead and handle that. But yeah, man, love yourself, bro. Love yourself, number one. If you love yourself, then you can give love. I don't want you to isolate yourself like I do. Don't isolate yourself because it's only gonna get worse. Don't do that. Socialize, Moral support, emotional support, very important. And understanding the self. And if you don't want to understand yourself, because that was my whole trip, bro. I didn't want to understand myself. I didn't want to know myself because I was in the mentality that like I'm a fucking loser. I'm a bum. Why the fuck do I want to know myself? Why do I want to know this destructive parasite? I don't want to know myself. I don't even want to be me. I don't even want to barely be alive. Why do I want to know myself? Like, if you really feel like that, which I don't know how common or rare that is, because to be honest, I'm gonna finish my point. I keep jumping around. To be honest, I didn't know what it meant to know yourself. I didn't know what that meant in totality. I low key, I still don't actually know, like for real, for real. If you don't want to know yourself, you can always reprogram yourself. And when I complete those readings, I'm gonna read. I got two books on it. It's called Cybernetics. Okay, Psycho CEBR. Wait, I'm just gonna say it again. Psychos. Wait, the books. Let me see. I got a pile of books right here. Haha. CEB. No. No. Psycho. Cybernetics. Psycho Cybernetics. What that is pretty much reprogramming yourself image so you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. Now, it's not too it's not as far out as it might sound, but it's kind of like how people try to be a thug or a gangster when they're really not. The thing about that is to be an effective, a good gangster, you have to grow up around gangsters and you have to be traumatized in a lot of ways. So, no, you can't do that, and you shouldn't want to do that. But if you want to be, let's say, like a businessman or a salesman or like the president or something like that, or like a leader, you can program yourself to do that. But yeah, it's your self image because it's like your self image. The book is a theory, is science, 80% of science is theories. But the premise is your life is controlled by your self image. This is why a lot of people self sabotage. You don't feel like you deserve something, so you subconsciously do things to try to take them away from yourself. And you might have some kind of addiction problem, or you might be abusive to your loved ones or your spouse because you think that subconsciously you think that that person's too good for you, or you might fuck up on a job a lot because you don't think you are smart enough to maintain that job subconsciously, so you fuck it up. But if you program yourself to feel like you deserve this job or like you're good at this or you're good enough, then you're not gonna fuck it up so easily, and you're gonna get stuff that you didn't even actually put your energy into getting. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna invest my time and energy into. I didn't even buy this book. Somebody gave me this book. I begged for this book because I saw this book when I was helping them with something in their house, and I mentioned it, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't even read it. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Do I want it? A book?" Cause I got that book. I downloaded it in my phone, and I don't read books in my phone like that. And this is a true blessing. It's not even a blessing because I got the book already. But this was I manifested this. I manifested. I'm proud of myself. This is a sign from the universe that is lit, man. But that's another thing. Buy books, bro. Buy books. Get book. Even if you don't buy, you should be getting books. Buy books though, because if you pay for the knowledge, then you'll value it a lot more. You should be spending at least $1,000 a year on books, and I need to do that. That should be a new goal. $1,000 a year. That's a lot of money, actually. $500 a year on books. 20 $20. How much is that? That's 20 books. Are you really gonna read all those books? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm delirious. I'm tired, and that's okay. I had a good last 3 days, with the exception of about 4 hours. I busted a lot of nuts. I busted so many nuts. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed. I feel dirty. I busted a lot of nuts, bro. A lot. One is one nut. A lot of a lot is three. I busted like 7 nuts, bro, in 3 days. That's not healthy. I needed it though. I needed it. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I work hard, man. I work hard. And it wasn't by myself. I'm not the masturbation king or anything like that. It felt good. It felt good. I deserved it. I slept a lot. I ate. I smoked a lot of cigarettes. I took showers a lot. I brushed my teeth a lot. And I busted a nut a lot. Like twice a day. I'm ashamed of myself. I need to fast. I'm gonna fast tomorrow and replenish my sexual fluids. Yeah. It's Air Moses, man. I'm the bang, you the bang, we the bang. Care about yourself. Care about yourself. I'm gonna drink some water, bro. Drink some water. That's gonna be the outro. Love, life, loyalty. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Paper, power, pussy, prosperity, protection, and good water. Peace.